The benefit of this, having that support, not having to do this on your own, you'll save thousands of dollars not making common mistake that new designers tend to make. Hi, I am Anna Livermore, founder of V.Mora, which is a company that I founded 15 years ago to help designers with anything that they need in launching, maintaining, growing their business. There are a lot of designers that are struggling and they're not necessarily showing you that or telling you that. So my journey is similar. I didn't have a backup plan. Basically, I had no backup plan. I had no savings. I had to do this on my own. And a lot of designers out there, I know you're in the same boat. You've got to do this on your own. You've got to put together a successful business. It's not easy to do alone. The startup coaching that we put together is specifically designed to not only talk about those fears, address those fears, find solution for those fears, but also keep you accountable. This is the next step, and this is your homework, and this is what I expect done by our next week's call. There are worksheets and templates. You also get a full access to all of my vendors that I've created over the last 15 years. We break it down so that it's easy for you, so that you can be afraid, but you can still be moving forward. Get into what the startup coaching covers. First call, we cater this to anyone that's signing up for this startup coaching. So there's something that you already have covered that you don't need, we just skip it. This is a loose curriculum. So if there's things that you've already done, don't worry about it. The first call is getting started. We take an inventory of fear. What's the worst case scenario? How are you going to move through them? What are the solutions? And are you going to be okay? So this doesn't apply for everyone. So you do, like a lot of designers do, we help you with identifying those fears and what the solutions are. And we do a one-page business plan. It sets goals for the year. We also talk about the branding. Branding is important. So who's your customer? Those are things that you need to think about when you're starting. Then we go into the brand identity. We've got some exercises to help identify you as a brand, who your customer is. You want to think about logo and label, color palette, like all of these things are really important. We have exercises, ways to make this easy. And before you know it, you have your branding together and you're good to go. The next call is we talk about the line development. So that's where the tech packs and the designs come in, the spec sheets, building a timeline. A timeline's really important. What is your costing going to look like? We show you a costing template. Then we get into tech packs and how to make a tech pack. Now, the coaching is you are responsible for the deliverables. We're giving you the tools to do a tech pack. We're teaching you the terminology and how to do it, but we're not doing the legwork. You're doing the legwork. We'll make the introductions. You also have full access to those people. So we'll make the email intro, but then it's up to you, make those swatch requests or order the first labels. Like you're the point person for all of these relationships. We're just here to guide you. The next call is about fabric and trim sourcing. That's where we'll get into like how to write a PO, how to present yourself professionally to these fabric vendors, what to say to the fabric vendors, what to have prepared, want to know the proper terms, how to approach these vendors to take you seriously. The vendors sometimes, because they know you're a V.Mora client, will come back to us and ask us like, hey, I asked them if they were looking for a knit or a woven and they didn't know the difference. Can you please talk to them about that on the next call? We're there helping you, giving you the information and the legs to stand on so that in the future you can do this on your own. That is just the first month. It's a month to month. You do not need to do, the program is set up for 3 months. You don't need to do 3 months. You just have to be really clear on the deliverables. The better we can make sure you walk away being like, yes, that was the best money that I've ever invested. I am so happy that I did that because it is an investment. It's $2,000 a month. That includes 4 calls a week and all communication in between. In month 2, you have your timeline together. You have your customer together. You have the basis of your costing. You have your fabric lined up, or at least swatches on the way. And then you've made your designs. You've got the sketches and the spec sheets. So that's what we focus on in the first month. This is all before you've made a sample. This is really to set you up for success. Month 2, we get into the steps of production and educating you around what these steps are and why you have to take them, why they're important, what they mean, why you can't skip them, why they come in this order, what is your responsibility, what is the pattern maker's responsibility. A lot of times when people come to me and they say, oh my gosh, my pattern maker was horrible. And then I'll backtrack and say, well, did you provide spec measurements? Did you provide your size chart? Well, no, aren't they supposed to know that? Unfortunately, no, that is not not up to your pattern maker. That's you. So what's on your side of the street and what's on the contractor's side of the street? You've got to set these people up so that you get a production that's perfect. There's a lot on your side. The next call is budgeting. Now we'll have some numbers, right? Like we'll have some actual numbers for the fabric. Once you have your spec sheets, we can get quotes for patterns and samples. So going back to that budgeting and really making sure numbers can be scary, get it, but I make it easy. We walk you through it and we give you examples. And whatever your budget is, it could be 5,000, 10,000, 150, a million, like you still want to create a budget. It's meant to be empowering so that once you know, like, well, I budgeted $1,000 on fabric. So when that bill comes for $1,000, I'm comfortable. I got it. I've built it into my budget. Call 7 is costing. Call 8 is that timeline. So these are all more specifics. We give a brief overview in that month 1, and then we get into the specifics thereafter. Month 3. Then we get into the marketing, the social media plan. When are you launching? What is the content? What time from the time that your production's for sale? When are you going to backtrack? So the timeline for that. And then your photo shoot, if you're going to be your creative director, what that looks like, what goes into the photo shoot, what you want to pair, the photo shoot deck. Again, that's not something you just want to put in the hands of your makeup artist and your photographer and hope everything works out. There are guidelines and templates and examples and ways to get the results that you want. Then we talk about marketing optimization, SEOs, your plans for blog writing. How are you going to pull people to your website? You'll need to build your website prior to your production being done. Last is your sales plan. So how are you selling? Who are you selling to? Are you doing wholesale, retail, trade shows, whatever that looks like? What is your sales plan? That, in a nutshell, are all of the steps we take you through as a new designer for startup coaching. We make it simple, doable. We're there with you. This coaching includes communication, emails, text messages if we're jumping on the phone. So you will have support through this. You'll save thousands of dollars with not making common mistakes that new designers tend to make, whether it's skipping steps, investing money improperly, not setting your production factory up for success, or not giving them everything that they need. When you don't have the right direction, the risk of having a production that you can't sell is a lot higher. You're going to do it on your own. More power to you. You absolutely can do that. You've probably heard me talk about this book. It has all the steps in it. There's online programs. There's a lot of information out there. So just spend your time making sure that all of those things, all of those 12 classes that I talked about today, you have a plan for. We've got some clients that I wanted to just call out here. We have Bergie bags. So that is our client, Heather. But her website and they are insulated pouches. So it's like little bags and you can put snacks in it. You can put makeup in it. I used it when I was pumping. It was like a little small enough that if I only had a few pumps, I could fit the milk in it in my bag. She was a client that did the startup coaching. We set her up. We gave her the vendors that she's still using today. She's doing great. So that's one of the clients that I wanted to highlight. Took her and we held her hand and we brought her through step by step. And you can do this too. That's the point. You can do this too. Another great client is Mary Bemis. She had started and right out of school, and she recently quit her job and now is just focusing on her brand, Reprise Activewear. She just quit her job and now she is full-time in her brand. It took her 5 years. That is bootstrapping it. She had a full-time job while she was doing the Reprise Activewear for a long time. I know a lot of clients and myself too. When I started V.Mora, I was a waitress and worked at a bar because I couldn't afford to just have a company, just start a company. I needed to have another job. And a lot of my clients have other full-time jobs and this is their side hustle. And that is fine. We can help you. Mary she came up to me at a trade show last year and was like, I quit my job. I'm just doing Reprise Activewear full-time. So it's really exciting. Congrats to Mary. You can do it too. You just want to be prepared if you're bootstrapping it and you're, using the money, reinvesting the money, just like doing it slowly while you have your full-time job. It does take more time and that's okay. You can do this too. So those are just 2 clients that we've worked with, but there's been many, many, many other clients. I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions. It is a month-to-month contract. If you can only do 1 month, that is fine. Just be as clear as possible on the deliverables. The cost is $2,000 a month. There's calls every week, communication in between, emails, templates, access to our full network. The goal is to make sure that you walk away being like, that's $2,000 I ever spent. Program is best for designers that are serious and they're ready to go. You are to be taking these steps as we go. If you're just in absorbing information, again, this book, my online programs, my production qualifications course, those are great places for collecting information. This program is specifically designed to follow along with taking these action steps of launching. We keep you accountable. We give you homework every week, and you will have your collection. There are a lot of companies or people out there that will teach you how to launch a clothing line, but they're not actually being like, this is who you need to do your patterns and your samples and your production with for this amount, for this type of clothing in this minimum. These are the people we would recommend because we're doing production with them currently with other clients, and they're amazing and they're meeting deadlines and they're giving us a quality product. I can't stress enough how important it is. Like, you can learn all of this, great. But with V.Mora, if you invest your money in V.Mora, whereas if you're doing it on your own, you've got to be a little bit more careful about the vendors that you're pulling in. Because not everyone can do what they say they can do, unfortunately. We just like to break the process down so that it's attainable and easy, and make sure you're taking all the steps so that you'll be successful, whether that would be budgeting or costing or customer research or having the right pattern maker, sample maker, manufacturer. All of those things are the goals so that you can have a successful clothing line.